And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another stream. Coming at you live from the hottest studio around. Today is actually the warmest day that we've had so far in the garage. It is currently, I'll just show you guys. It's freaking hot. I opened up the garage this morning to try to kind of flush out some of it, but it's, yeah, 91, currently 91.4. So I have got cold water on, I've got shorts on, and I am going to do my best, but I definitely am already feeling like it's just hot. So I have a feeling today's stream is going to be probably more like 2 hours versus the 3 we've been doing, just because once I get to a certain point in this heat, it's hard to stream. It's just hard to stream and function. So we're going to do our best, but let's see who's all here today. Tuxedo, how's it going? Jody C, napping. I hear you say it's the hottest day every day you start the stream. It is. It just like consistently keeps getting warmer. And I thought that we had potentially peaked on the heat, and last week it looked like it had dipped a little bit. And then yesterday was 102 here, and I'm like, okay, this summer is still certainly not over. So I'm hoping that, like, I'm hoping for good news. One of these weeks we go to stream and it's like 80 or 85, but yeah, it just has not. It's just been consistently climbing. So Ranch Kid's here, Del Mar is here, GPs. When clothes start coming off, it is time to end the stream. I could not agree more. Hey Hobo, let's see, is anyone I missed? I saw Lisa. Yeah, Lisa's here. How's it going? Dr. Day was in the house a moment ago. Greenbeard, if I didn't already say that. Mike, how's it going? Just bring your butt to Sweden. We have a hot 71. That sounds absolutely lovely. It's funny, my parents actually fly out in 2 days. 3 days? Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 3 days. They're going to Europe for a month, so I'm jealous that they're getting the cooler weather. So let me bring everybody up to speed on kind of what I've done since last week's stream. So you might have noticed that we have beds installed. So at the very end of last week's stream, we started, I think, I don't even think we started putting anything on the aluminum beds, but I started taking the stuff out and then realized I was going to have to like cut holes for the screws, and it's basically said I would do it off stream. So since then, I did get all the beds installed. It wasn't exactly difficult. The magnets that they use have a really hard top surface, which makes them not cut very clean. So they turned out okay. If I go up close on them, you can kind of see that they don't look that great. Like, let's see if I can show, like, can we focus there? We're gonna autofocus, we are. So let me turn off autofocus. So they're a little bit like sliced up looking, but overall they turned out okay. There's one in the corner over here that was probably the worst. Where are we at? We're over here. You can't really see it, but this one over here, I have a little bit of concern long term on how well it's going to hold up and not peel back, but for now it's kind of the way it is. The only I guess complication or let's see, one second here, let me change up the camera, 1 second. So the only thing I ran into was I think it's this section. Yeah, so the only thing I ran into was here. So this says, or this basically shows, you've got a spring, you've got a sort of like standoff thing, and then you've got a M3 T-nut. And so it says to use M330 socket heads with T-nuts. Well, in my particular kit, I didn't have, so we would need 16 of them to have 4 for each bed. And I think my kit had maybe like 10 of them, so I was scratching my head. I also noticed that on my, if I go up here, let's see, before, maybe here? No, it's probably another frame assembly. So the one thing I noticed about my particular frame was that these cross beams already had tapped and threaded holes exactly where the bed needed to be. So I ended up not using M3 T-nuts, and I had plenty of M340 screws in the kit. So I basically just went directly into the threaded holes in the extrusion. I'm assuming that they made a change to the kit from the time I got this early kit to this one, where they're not doing the tapping and threading anymore, which is why they recommend the T-nuts. But in my case, like I said, I had tapped and threaded holes. So I did that. I added the, let's see if I go under change log. Here we go. So I added the thermal fuses to all the beds using these, Wagos. Yeah. And so the only thing left really is if I zoom out a little bit here. So I guess there's a couple things. For starters, when I was cutting the wires for the bed, I didn't realize that there were two thicknesses of the wires, at least externally, the sleeving. I don't think internally there's any difference. But one of them has like a ferrule connector. Let's see if I can find an example. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this actually. Let me turn you guys around, make sure you... So one of them has a ferrule connector and the other ones have this sort of like, I don't know what this connector even is called, but this is for the like SSR, oh come on. This is for the SSR board. And so I didn't cut exactly the right ones. So some of them have two of these. So I will have to cut and crimp ferrules on a couple of these when we actually get to the wiring. So right now, this bundle of wires here is for this bed and the bed right in front of it. And then it has the ground wire, which is tied to all the beds. And then this bundle of wires is for this bed and that bed. I think the instructions have you just go through one cable sleeve, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'm going to kind of play around with it. I might end up sleeving these two and then sleeving these two. So there would be two separate bundles and then going through this hole here. I don't really think it's, I don't think it's going to look any less clean, really, just having the second black bundle of wires. And it will help me organize things a little bit more. The other thing I do need to do is label each bundle of wires. So they have like A, B, C, and D in the instructions. And so I didn't label them yet, but the good thing is, like, I know that this bundle, like I said, is that and that, this is that and that. And then the wires that are shortest out of the bundle will be the, the beds that are further away. So I do need to label these still before I kind of go ahead and sleeve them up. But beds are basically ready to rock and roll, aside from the ferrules and the sleeving. And then the biggest issue we ran into last week for everyone that's also, I'm probably missing some. Hey, Kay Fegley, hey, Jason. So the biggest issue we ran into last week came in the form of let's see, I might do autofocus again, actually. Let me move this bag out of the way. There we go. So yeah, the biggest issue came when we were starting to work on the gantry components, and specifically the spacers or washers that go in between the bearing stacks. For this one right here, there's only a single washer. We had no issues, but on this bearing stack, it calls for one on each end and one in the center, and they were measuring at roughly 0.9 to 1 millimeter in thickness, but the guide called for 0.6 millimeter thickness washers or spacers. And so the shaft that everything sits on was not long enough, and so when I tightened things down, these CNC plates were no longer parallel to each other because this was sticking out further than this one. It was kind of at like a slight downward angle. And I think we measured it with calipers, and from like one end to the other, it was a couple millimeters at least. So last week's stream, I went ahead and ordered these guys off Amazon. And so I did really quickly right now just go ahead and fit the first one, and it does fit perfectly. So the game plan really for today's stream is going to be to do what I wanted to do last week, which is get all of the gantry components assembled. So we've got the motor mounts, we've got our XY joints, and I think there's also, and the idler assembly. So if we get those done, then between this week and next week, I will go ahead and basically install them all on these extrusions with the rails, because the quartz that I use to make sure everything is nice and flat is upstairs, and I don't have an ability to just like take a camera upstairs and do all that. So we'll get all of these kind of joining pieces done. That way I can get this done, and next week we should be on here, the extrusion head assembly. So then we can start working on toolhead. Which reminds me, I do need to print out still a few more parts of this. But that's kind of the game plan. It should be hopefully relatively chill. Like I said, it's freaking hot. It is just, I'm pretty miserable. But I'm doing my best to stay as happy and positive as I possibly can. We are also getting closer to baby's due date. So due date is September 7th. I don't think that the doctor believes we're gonna make it there. I know Aaron certainly doesn't, especially because Jackson came a month early. But yeah, we had our final ultrasound on Monday that went well. Baby is estimating, right now baby weighs approximately 7 pounds, 1 ounce. Is a very long baby. And yeah, we've got a follow-up. Tomorrow we got an appointment with just the OB, so we're getting closer and closer. I'll update everybody when it's I will update everybody when it is go time, as much as I possibly can. Hey, Huge Dino. All right, so let's figure out what's left on this guy. So we have this exploded view, which I don't love. So we know that's installed. Got the 2 stacks. So we need these 3 long guys here, which I think, so the M340 sockets are going into this, but I need to install a couple screws into this still. So this looks like M38 button heads and M312 sockets. Is that right? Yes, we need M312 sockets, what did I just say? M312 sockets and M38 buttons. So let's try to find that. M3, it's like going in one ear and out the other. M3, I think I just said M3. Oh my god, I can't remember anything right now. Steve! Happy 39 months, man. That's crazy. Thank you so much, Steve. I got the beds done, Steve. I talked to Steve the day I was gonna do these beds. I got them all done. It went in relatively well. I just have like a rat's nest of wires that need to get cleaned up, and I also cut the wrong, I didn't realize there was different connectors on the beds, and so I cut the wrong ones on some instances. So I just need to, like, when we get to plugging things in, revise it, so that way at least each one has a ferrule and each one has sort of this strange looking, I'll just show Steve since Steve's here. Steve saw, nope, that's the ferrule. Steve saw the little like board. But each of the AC bed wires needs one of these connectors, which I don't know what the heck these are. But this is for the like breakout board type thing for the SSR, or the split SSR. Okay, M312, M38, M312, M38, M36, M312, nope, not the right ones. M38. Cool, we got the M38 button heads. Okay, let's just start with that. I can't multitask today. So it looks like these 3 screws are just going into this guy, and they are going, let's see if there's a better image. Okay, so it looks like they just go into bottom and then outer maybe? Form a triangle. We'll try that. Okay. That's just a spade? Like a right, is it just a spade connector? Maybe it just looks weird because it's like it's a right angle spade connector, and I haven't used those before. It is just a spade connector. Huh. Go figure. Yeah, okay, Steve's right. It is just a spade connector, but I mean, it's a right angle one, which I guess that's what threw me. I haven't seen them before, but that's good to know. It literally is all it is. I don't have spares of those, but are those holes for the cable chain? That's a great question. That makes a lot of sense. The pattern makes me think that you're probably right. It likely is for the cable chain, which if that's the case, it would mean we don't even need to install it right now, but I'll at least, I mean, just to move along with the instructions, I will thread them in loosely. But that makes a lot of sense because only one of the motor mounts has it, which if it's a cable chain attachment point, then only one side would have it because the wires wouldn't be running from both angles. I'm not sure what the center, like, I'm not sure what the additional hole is for then. Maybe that's so that it's compatible with both cable chain types, because isn't there, well, there's one cable chain type that has like the 2-in-1 and one that's just 2 straight ones. So maybe they just figured they would do that. That way it's compatible with whatever they can source at the time. Hey, Troy. This one's not going in very well. Where's my, let's see. Okay, that is not going in. What's the deal with that? Try the other hole. Maybe it's the screw? Screw looks fine. This is not, oh, what the heck? 1 second, where's my phone? I want to make sure it's threaded all the way through. Did you get different spacers? I did get different spacers. Yep. Sure looks like it's threaded all the way through. Okay, let's try a different screw. Did they just not do a good job of... I don't want to damage this. I wonder if I go in. Steve, with the 5 gifted memberships. Thanks, man. You missed it, but I was just showing. This is my current temperature situation right now, Steve. Check this out. 91.8 Fahrenheit, man. It's freaking hot, dude. Yeah, that's odd. I can't think of any reason why it would work in one direction and not the other. I'm gonna take that part out and just take a look at it. Yeah, I know. I mentioned I mentioned at the start of the stream it's probably just gonna be a 2-hour stream because like I am already feeling fairly uncomfortable. I do have ice water, thank God, but let me take these screws out. I'd be sweating all. Yeah, I am sweating. I am very. I have a fan blowing on me, so I'm like trying to at least turn the sweat into cold sweat. But no, I am. I am very hot. Okay, so let's see what's going on with this piece here. It looks fine. I wonder if I rotate direction, if that will make any difference. Let's try going in from this side. That's too big of a driver. Okay, well that seemed to work, so it's maybe I installed it backwards. It's the only thing I could think of. Let's just make sure they all go in. Yeah, that seems to be working. So maybe just user error. This screw, I think I stripped that screw pretty good. Let's chuck this screw in the trash. I got water. I think Aaron's going down for a nap. Jack was going to take a nap, so I know Aaron was going to try to sneak a nap in too. Okay, this seems fine. So yeah, I guess I must have just went the wrong direction. Tuxedo with the 6 months. Thanks, man. Let's do a little squirrel action. All right, so that seemed to work out. The thing I need to make sure of now, though, is that orientation is correct. So it looks like if we have it like this, based off the image here, great. The T-nuts too. Like the thing I'm not understanding is these T-nuts just want to keep falling off. Even fully seated, they only thread in like maybe 1.5 turns. Let's see, do I have the right driver? I don't. Okay, you are fully tightened. I've already fully tightened them a bunch of times just because I know that's not what I'm gonna want when I go to install them, but right now I just don't want them to keep falling off on me. Let's see if that'll work. Okay, those should be fully tight. All right, so if we have this facing like this, then we want this piece going in like this, it appears. Okay, so let's see if I can get these screws back in. Okay. Why are what is going on with these threaded parts, man? They're just not, they're not aligning well for me. Let's see if that one goes in. I don't get it. They probably tap these holes with too close of a clearance prior to anodizing. Yeah, I can't get this screw in either. So let's take the part out. Let's feed the screws in, make sure they go in. I can't even get the screw out. There we go. Ooh, yeah, that looks chewed. It looks a little chewed up. I wonder if we can't go in all the way. Let's grab a new screw. Just give them a couple ugga-duggas with the impact driver. Okay, that went in fine. That was nice and smooth. That one's nice and smooth. I always encourage when people put stuff on a build plate when putting the printer together. Why? It's like the only place to put stuff. Right now, at least. Like if I put it on the acrylic around it, then it has a chance of rolling under the build plate, which seems like a worse idea. And then there's like nowhere else. Are those aluminum parts? They're anodized. They're not powder coated. Yeah, they're definitely anodized. It seems to be working. I just needed to kind of work it in. I might just start doing this with all of the threads. I don't know. See if this one goes. Oh, geez, this one's not. It's not going in. These need to go in fairly deep too, so these are what? Let me grab a fresh screw just so I can try this again with a clean screw. These are what? These are M3 12 socket heads. Let's find another set. M325, M35, M320. We might need those. M310s. These look like M312s. Nope, M316s. They gotta be here somewhere. M312 socket heads. There we go. All right. Hey, Rob. Okay, let's see this one more time. Nope, that side we already know is fine. Okay, I think I got that one through. That feels pretty good. I mean, I guess I could always go with a shorter screw. If this is just a cable chain attachment point, probably doesn't need all these threads, but I think I got it now. It feels pretty good. It's better than Loctite. All right, so one more time, if I hold this piece up. Okay, if I hold this piece up like this, then we want this to look like this. That seems right. We also have a printed part, it looks like, going on the top. So maybe I don't install all the screws yet, or I'll install them just partially. Maybe. Just to show you guys what I'm talking about. This guy right here looks, I think this is a printed piece, and I don't know where that is right now. So we'll fully seat the bottom screws, but the top ones here, we won't. I'll leave them a little bit loose. Okay, those went in. I'm at least happy we were able to fix it relatively easily. Sometimes when a screw is not threading and smoothly, use a tap to reform the threads. Using a screw might ruin both the screw and the female threads. I do have a tap set somewhere. This doesn't even go in all the way. Is it the wrong size? Is that what's going on here? So this is basically a Voron 2.4600. Yeah, something like that. I could, yeah, that's probably what it's closest to. M312s, M312s. Nope, calls for the same screw size. It just seems like it's bottoming out. I don't see any sort of spacer, washers, nope. All right, we'll try with two different screws. It looks like it should be fine. Just like putting it up against the side of the part, it looks like it should fit fine, so. Yeah, these threads are wonky. This thing still has some wobble to it, which is weird. Curious to see if I snug up both sides, does it get rid of the wobble? Yes, it does. Okay, play's gone, so it'll be fine. It's not hitting the other screw, no. It's very close. I'd love to see in the CAD how close it is, but it seems to rest like, I would imagine there's, I don't know, a millimeter or so of clearance. But yeah, it seems to work. It seems to get all the way in without bumping it. It's close though. Hey, Steve. Steve Clark. Okay, so the last thing I think we need to do is just get the first motor on. The downside that I discovered just a moment ago is that these motors are smooth all the way around, There's no flat section of them. So I'm going to install them right now, but something tells me I may be grinding. I don't have much good to grind them down with. Otherwise I'd probably just grind them right now. Like I literally would be hand filing them. The best thing I might have is like a Dremel at some points, but does the assembly just slide on the extrusion? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it just slides on 2020. But to me that seems like an oversight. They should have shipped these with a flat portion of the motor shaft, but they did not. So for right now I'm just going to use some Loctite, but I imagine that's going to come loose. It's not quad XY. Yeah, it's not quad XY. It's just two motors. One thing I found weird, also Dr. Dave, thank you so much for the 16 months. One thing I found weird, Steve, was I finished building the ProForge 300, which does use quad XY, and it didn't have me do anything unique to synchronize the like diagonal motors with each other. Like on the VZ, I remember we had to sort of like, I think, like loosen, I don't remember exactly what we did, but it was like we loosened one of them and then had the motor like lock into like step or like basically lock, and then we tightened it like that. No, it's not quad XY GPs. It's unless I'm no, there's only 2 motors. It can't be quad XY. So, like I said, I'm gonna leave them for now. And very likely, I'm very likely going to have to flatten out a portion of it. There's a great add-on called MotorSync that uses your ADXL to sync your motors. That's awesome. But yeah, I just think it's weird. On the ProForge 300, it's using Clipper. It uses, you know, quad XY, and it didn't have me do anything special for the motors, and it's been working fine, which I find even weirder. I was expecting like VFAs or just something funky going on because of it, but it wasn't the case. Okay, so this looks like it wants the teeth to be inward. So we'll go like that. You loosen these up. Okay, you know what, we'll do a little bit of Loctite. Where is my little Loctite bottle? That's probably giving more credit than thinking about it than anything. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised that... Huh, where's my Loctite? I'm pretty surprised that they did not put a flat portion on the motor shaft. Huh, that's weird. Well, my Loctite should be out here because I definitely brought it out for one of the previous builds. What did I do with it? Where has my Loctite bottle gone? Well, we might not be Loctiting right now. I've got the one bottle, and I know I brought it out here because when I initially saw that this had so much CNC parts, I planned on using it a lot, but didn't end up using it a lot. Could it have fallen? I sure don't see it. Well, that sucks. I don't know. It has, wait, no. It has 4 Z motors. The two motors are for your AB motors for your XY motion. I don't understand. Unless the bottle somehow ended up under the printer. Nope. I don't understand where the heck it could have gone. It's a pretty good sized bottle of Loctite. Okay, well maybe I install the pulley later. It doesn't look like there's going to be any issues sliding it on. This goes in like that. I've got full access to it, so I just won't do pulleys right now until I get some Loctite. Okay, so this goes on. I know we need motor, we need this, and then we need standoffs, which there should be a bunch of... Here's some standoffs. These aren't the right ones. Here we go, these ones. And then we need M340 socket heads. M330s, M340s. All right, here we go. Is it manual to put some blocks under it? Is it? Wait. Hey, Raj. Yeah, it's so the 2.4, like, that it's basically based off of, but I don't know, a much beefier version. It's the same thing where you've got your 4 Z motors, which you can actually see. I can show you really quick. So each corner has one of these guys. And so these will all have belts going down from here to the idlers at the bottom. So yeah, this is just for like the actual gantry the tool head's gonna ride around on. Raj, thank you so much for the 5 months, man. Cheers. Dude, cheers. There we go. Okay, so the things that matter here is it looks like it wants orientation to be like this, and it wants the motor to be coming out, the wires to be coming out the bottom like this. Let me verify that really quickly. Maybe I'm wrong? Huh. It's kind of confusing. It looks to me like I'm assuming that this image, like the round is saying like that's where the wires are supposed to come out of, which would be towards the end, which is how I have it here. But then here, it seems like it's favoring that same side, so that I feel like I'm doing it right. But then here, I don't get it, unless this is not showing anything to do with the wires. It must not be, because the wires are on the butt, so we'll assume I did it right. Yeah, we'll leave it as is. So now we just need standoffs. So let's just do one at a time. I'll just try to pass them through. Trying to get back to where, hey, thanks for stopping by, Steve, and for the memberships. Stay cold. Stay nice and cold. All right. So we will just basically place these little guys. Maybe this won't work as well as I thought that it would. Okay. I was thinking that I could just place these guys inside, but I might need to loosen these a little bit and tighten them at the same time. Yeah, that seems to work. The close-up is showing the pulley and the bearing stack line up. Got it. That makes sense. It's just, I think having them all in the same image with no description really is what's throwing me. You know, like there's, you can't see, but there's another circled one back here, and then one here and one here, but there's no like, that makes sense. I mean, it absolutely makes sense, but I still think a little bit of text to accommodate the blue circle would be nice. Okay. All right, so those are in. Yeah, I think I'll just do the pulley.
For the I don't knows if that thing is big enough fund.
Andrew, thank you so much for the 99 for the I don't know if that thing is big enough fund. It is definitely big enough. That I promise you. This doesn't, I don't get it. Like the things don't seem to be threading in as far as I feel like they should be. But maybe I'm wrong. How's your week going, Andrew? Okay, it's 92.3 right now. All right. Yeah, this is not. Do they have the wrong size, dude? I mean, that's not right. Look at it, like. That's definitely not right. Yeah, the screws bottomed out. So all this, like, there's so many things in this that the screw sizes are not labeled correctly. So these must need to be M330s. Actually, I'm having a realization that I think I remember reading something about this in the changelog. I'm almost positive. Changelog. The M340 motor mounting screws are a bit long, so you need M3 by 38, or add M3 washers. I think we need quite... Oh yeah, because if we add washers, it won't go into the CNC part. So we can just do that. We'll add washers. Yeah. If I have, I'd like to think I have them. I don't understand. Busy back to the daily. Oh, that's right. School just started back in session, right? Oh, I didn't realize, Keith. I got to get rid of the merch store for now. They closed down. Like the company I was using closed down quite a long time ago. I thought that I already removed it, and then I'd plan on going with a new store, and I just haven't done it yet. So thank you for the reminder. I need to do that. The thing I don't understand though, like, if this changelog states this, how hard is it to update a web page? Like, can't they just have replaced this graphic? I don't get it. Okay, so we need M3 spacers. Let's see if I've got any down here. All the freaking spacers. Let's see, M3. Socket head, M3, nuts. I don't see spacers. I've surely got a bunch of them somewhere, probably upstairs. Inserts, lock nuts. None down here. Let me, is there any in here? Washers, M3 washers, 240 of them. That should be sufficient. All right, let's try this again. I just don't understand, like, why couldn't they have just updated the image to reflect that difference? I can't believe Mini-Me is a high school junior. That's crazy. I have 2 t-shirts and get comments when I go out. I was just gonna see. Oh man, thank you so much for the support, Keith. Yeah, I need to. I really freaking need to. My big thing was I wanted to reopen with at least one new design. And the person that I commissioned for the first round of designs, when I reached out to them, this is, I mean, gosh, it's probably 8 to 12 months ago now, never got back to me. And so I think after that, I just sort of dropped it. But I need to probably reach back out as a starting point, and then if they're not available, see if I can find someone else that I feel like could create the style that I'm looking for. About a week and a half ago. It's crazy. Andrew, do you have the 1 kiddo or 2? I don't know if this is even going to be long enough, so we'll try tightening this now. Considering the design, the CNC parts are just 38mm screws is just dumb. I just don't understand why they haven't cleaned up the build guide at this point. It's odd to me. counter bore the part by 3 millimeters. I can't believe that both my sons are adults now. I have the cat open if I can answer the question. Got it. I think that we've figured it out. They provided the wrong screw size for this, and so the recommendation is either a 38 millimeter screw, which I certainly don't have, or using washers. That does seem like that worked. I don't feel any play anymore. Let's just finish tightening these down. Hey, nice. Happy hump day, man. Okay. Tighten these screws up, and we should be done. The only thing, like I said, is I gotta do the pulleys, but I want Loctite. Since there's no flat part of the shaft, at the very least, I want to use Loctite, and I don't know where my bottle is, so I will revisit. Okay. Sweet. I think we're done with the first one. Do our little oops.
That was easy.
Perfect. Now we get to do it again. Yay! It should go a little bit quicker though, I think, now that I know, you know, that we need washers and kind of some of the nuances, but bearings are moving nicely. Everything feels relatively good. Now, there we go. It looks pretty good. Hey, Kiteorn. Yeah, I'm getting my Fabrico first time wearing. Fabrico sent over a few shirts. Well, basically let me pick out a few shirts. So let me zoom in on this one. This is their 0G one, but as you can see, we're already getting some belly sweats on it. It wasn't my plan when I put it on today, but here we are. Yeah, we're climbing up to 93 Fahrenheit. Gross. Do you have those nice CST caps you can put on top of parts for a bit of bling? I don't even know what that is, GPs. Are they just caps for like the socket head screws, or what exactly are they? Okay, let's grab our second piece here. So I'm going to start by really tightening these down. I think we need a socket head for this guy. Cool. Those are nice and tight. Nice and tight. Okay, so we need this guy. So on the other one, let's see here. So we completed the first one. So now we're on B motor assembly. So for B motor assembly, we are using you know, I know for certain. Let's see. Why does this feel wrong? Maybe it's not. Okay, so we need M316 and M518. M316. Wait, that's not right. What is going on here? This, okay, so this is the part we have right here. It must be, but it's not. These parts inverted. What's going on here? Something is wrong. Something's off. Hey, British. I feel confident in saying that we did the first piece correct because both those pieces have to be that way. But on this second round of parts, let's see, this says L and this says L, so they are labeled. So to me, this has to go like this. Maybe they just labeled it incorrectly again. Or maybe this part was machined incorrectly? Let me show you guys what's throwing me. Okay, so basically we have this piece right here, and it says 2 M5 by 8 button heads. But then when I look at this piece, that an M5 by 8 button head would work fine. That's an M3 M3 hole. So, but the thing that I find odd is that the holes on this side are the same, but the holes on this side are not the same. So, is it possible that I grabbed the wrong? Did they tap the wrong size? Send a link in Discord, seeing people use them in different colors. Okay, I'll take a quick look. I suspect that's not supposed to be an M3 hole. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. It seems like a mistake on their part, right? That's what we're thinking here. Let me see. Oh, neat. Now, I don't know that I've seen these so much. Those are cool. I think maybe I've seen Heart K with these before on one of his builds. So, I'm curious to see if I grab, let's just find like an M3 socket head here. So I'm gonna assume that a socket head is not gonna work. Oh, it might. So what we'll likely end up doing is just using an M3 socket head with a washer. Yeah, I'll check to see in the CNC parts whether there's another similar piece. But like like using the other side for an example, we have one side that looks like that, right? Which has the M5 and M3, which is what we have right here. But then on the opposite side, we have M5, M5, which is what I'm suspecting, you know, this is correct. Oops. But I have a feeling that this inside portion is not correct. And that perhaps they just, because I don't think there's not going to be any other piece that looks like this, I doubt. No, I'll check. I mean, I doubt they sent me an extra motor plate. I have a feeling that just somehow, some way, part was cut incorrectly or machined incorrectly. So I'd basically be looking for either a motor plate. Hold on, let me move. I gotta move the electronics. I don't want to. What's this right here? Okay. So there are pieces that look similar, and I wonder if So I've got more of these. Okay, so I got 2 of the same ones, which is not it. But I do have these. And I wonder if... I mean, we could use this, but I feel like I might be stealing it from something else. The thing I also find weird is if there's 4 pieces right here, I feel like there should be 1 more piece. Like, this would go with that, this would go with that. It feels like there should be 1. Could somebody check? According to the assembly diagram, it seems to be correct. 1 M3 screw, 1 M5 screw next to it. Wait, are you talking about the diagram I have or in the CAD itself? Because here I see M3 and M5, which we already did. That's in this piece. That's in this, or you can't see it, man. So this side has the M3 and M5, right? But this part looks mirrored too. What is, am I doing something silly here? Do I have things backwards? Hold on here. Okay, so this looks like it's how it should go. So that seems correct. I think, did I screw? Hold on. Let me take this off. Maybe I'm screwing something up here. I'm screwing up. It's my fault. I think what happened was when I was doing the first motor mount, I had grabbed 2 incompatible pieces, and that's what caused me to throw things together incorrectly. I think it's all fine. Because the orientation was wrong. So, okay, if I grab this piece right here, this is the piece that should have 1 of each size on it, which is going to be like this. It might have been a me thing, y'all. Yeah, I think I think what I was just doing was holding it incorrectly as far as orientation, so looking at it reversed. I'm gonna blame it on the heat. That's my excuse. Okay. I don't even know if that was a squirrel moment. I was incredibly focused, just looking at it from the wrong perspective. All right, so I'm just tightening these on right now so they don't get lost on me. Okay, so we've got that. So this is, one more time, that looks like that. On the top it says we need M512 button heads. M510s, M512s. Nope. These are not the right ones. M510s. M518s. Do we have M512s? We do. M512s. Okay, let's see if these will work. Yeah, it should, looks like it'll work. When beginning a subassembly, clear up your work area and gather all parts you'll need for it. This can avoid a lot of confusion. Yeah. You're not wrong. With this particular moment, I think the issue stemmed from me starting with it last week. And towards the end of it, when I had it mostly assembled, I realized that they weren't mirrored. They're mostly mirrored, the motor mounts, but this little like notch on 2 of the parts so that you can attach the cable chain assembly or attachment point to it. And I didn't realize that And so I think that's what messed me up, is because I was using 2 incompatible parts already from the beginning. Okay. So that side should be done. Now it's this side. And this side, we've got the top done. So now it's just the bottom, which goes like this. And then we need M5.
Smash the thumbs
Nice!
up
thank you
emoji,
for the
thumbs up
donation.
emoji,
Yeah,
thumbs up
smash the like
emoji,
button. We
thumbs up
will
emoji.
probably be opening up our giveaway. Whoa, what just happened? Probably be opening up our giveaway in like 30 minutes. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this, I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to go for today, just because of the heat, man. It's really not fun. I'm hoping we catch a break in the heat one of these weeks, so I feel just a little bit better while we're streaming. But then again, you don't have a lot of work area due to the size. Yeah, it's tricky. Like, everything is super condensed and smashed. Like, it's just, yeah, it's a mess. When I initially put these 2 carts together and I was kind of prepping for this build, I thought, like, surely I'll have enough room. But I mean, I have a second monitor that I bought for this build series. It's still sitting in the box from like a month ago, because once I got the frame built, I was like, wait, where am I going to put the second monitor? That's why I'm just sticking with the iPad. It's not nearly as easy to view chat and stuff like that, but for the sake of portability, it's working out well. Why is this not? Let's see. There we go. Okay. So this is done as well. So the next thing, I believe, should be our bearing stacks again. And if I'm looking at this, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so this side, okay. This side is here. What size screws? Or we're just using little guys. So M38 flatheads. M38 flatheads. M3, nope, M2.5. Where are you, buddy? I know I had pulled you out. M36, M38 button heads. Gotta be here. I had all these ready last week, anticipating we were gonna get further. I anticipated we were going to complete this section until I realized that the included spacers weren't going to work. I don't know where this part is right now. They'd be out here. Sure doesn't look like it. Oh boy. Only 93 in Belgium. Yeah, man, managing the parts is rough. Where am I from? I'm from California. I currently live in Idaho. All right, I'm gonna look through these just one more time. Yeah, we've been in Idaho for 3 years and some change now. Really like it here. Love it here, actually. Yeah, all the streams prior to this one have all been inside, like in the upstairs studio, so it's, you know, relatively comfortable. But due to the size of this build, it just wasn't possible. I would never be able to get it out of the studio, so I had to build it out here. And it just so happened to be, I am so confused as to where these stupid screws are, man. M38, there we go, right in front of my face, and a pretty large bag at that. 3mm holes in the bottom of the gantry on the outside. Wait, the 3mm holes go on the bottom of the gantry. side. Got it. I'm from Murray. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that before. Is that where you're watching from? Okay, so if I hold this up like this, the higher up one is going to be going in here. This goes like this. And this goes like this. On a pass. There we go. All right, and then this should be our second one, which is using the same screw to hold it in place. And I imagine, yeah, it looks like it's gonna be the exact same setup as before. So we are doing bearings, 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 bearings. Hey, Solid Cube. Hope your week's going well. I'm watching from there. Is an island besides Madagascar near Renoyan Island. That's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. What is the 3D printing scene like where you live? Is there a lot of people 3D printing, or is it a pretty small community? Okay, so that's fine. This side we need to start with a shim, or I'm calling them shims, but they're really just washers. Okay. Then we got a bearing stack. Nope. Yep. One more. Another bearing stack. Hey, Hasios. You're good, man. It's probably going to be a short stream today, though. Sorry to everyone that's here and has to hear me say it over and over again, but it's brutally hot today. Like we're climbing. I was hoping we were gonna level out, but we just keep climbing. Like we're officially at 93 Fahrenheit now. So we're gonna open up the giveaway link in 20 minutes, and so we'll see how I'm feeling basically in 50 minutes once the giveaway has happened. I don't know. We'll see. Hasios! Thank you so much for the 9 months, man. Cheers. Cheers, cheers. All right, let's put these on. Let's see, while I turn the hobby into business, the barrier to entry is high. More and more people are getting printers, though. The community is growing. The issues here is that because freight prices are high. Got it. Yeah, I imagine getting... Do you guys have... I imagine probably not, but is there anybody producing filament locally, or no, not at all? Okay, those are on. I'm so happy that these washers make it work. There's a little bit of play, like it's not perfectly snug, but it's probably, like, it's still, for whatever reasoning, this bearing stack now, like, or the shaft sticks out a little bit more, but it's at least flush. So the only thing that means is that this stack has a little bit more play, but we're talking, I don't even know if it's a full millimeter. It's not a lot. It's 70 Fahrenheit over in the UK, and I'm dying from that. Yeah. It's one thing too, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, 93 is pretty warm no matter how you shake it. But if you have like a breeze or, you know, something, but just in here, there's no vents, I got a fan that's basically just like spitting the hot air back at me. Next year, I vow to have AC hooked up in here by next summer. That is gonna be my one of my big goals, but it's just not happening this season. By the time I get an electrician out and get everything done, like it's gonna be kind of costly. And with the baby coming, I'm like, it's just not the right time. I'll deal with it for this build series and this season, and then get it figured out. All right, second one is together. You know what? I shouldn't overly tighten these yet. There's really not a lot of play. I know I said there was some play, and I don't doubt that that's still accurate, but it's really not a lot. But yeah, let me loosen this just a hair, because we need to get the motor on. So for the motor, Dan, thank you so much for the 9 months. Let's do pizza time. Cheers. Thank you so much. Let me get that Mr. Cool sponsorship. I am like debating on sending them a message. I would be willing to do an ad placement in a video for them, but like I wouldn't want to do a dedicated video on installing an AC. I feel like if I got really creative, I might be able to figure out a way to like somehow relate it to 3D printing, but I'd rather just do that. It's a lot. Yeah, having like, I mean, I've been outside doing yard work or gardening or whatever, where it's been 90 out, and then there's like a little breeze, and it comes like, it feels so good. But in here, it's just, there ain't no breeze. Okay, so for the final motor, it looks like orientation-wise, we want it to be like this, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay. So we will be using... Nice! Thank you so much, Nice, for the donation towards the AC fund. Cheers, man. $70 during August. I'd be happy if humidity would even drop that low. So I think that these are the standoffs we need, but I'm a little bit confused why there's an extra. They haven't really... No, this is not the standoff we need. That's why. Yeah, these must be this. What are these? They're the same length. Are these threaded, maybe? You need a ceiling fan in your garage? Yeah, that would feel nice. Okay, I don't know what these standoffs are gonna go for, but we got, when we moved in here, we got the hookups for a ceiling fan in our bedroom and in the living room, and I installed ceiling fans in both of those rooms, and we have them running pretty much 24/7. It makes such a massive difference. Growing up, we didn't have ceiling fans in the house. And then when I was living with my buddy, he did. You know what? Let's get our wash. We need washers for these. So these are what I think M340s is what we determined, but we also needed. So let's grab washers. But yeah, backtracking. The ceiling fans are incredible. 3D print nozzles to direct the airflow. Then Arduino control on off which nozzle. I like it, yeah. Get wifey to fan you. There's no way that my 30, almost 7-week pregnant wife is gonna come out here in the heat and fan me. I would never even think to ask her that. We said M340s, yeah, we did. Yeah, there's no way. I can already, you're like, why do you have a black eye? Like, yeah, I asked my wife to fan me in the garage. Okay. Okay, so we got this. We're using an M340. Once again, we're using the little washer to not have this screw bottom out on us. How's the pregnancy going? Pretty good overall. I mean, like it's been a rough pregnancy, like pretty much all around. The first trimester was way worse than with Jackson, and she was sick nonstop. Now she's just in pain. Like it's a big baby. They told us that the estimation was like 7 pound 1 ounce, but he's long, so yeah, we're hoping for the best. Like that's all we can really do is hope for the best. But yeah, the baby will need an ultrasound before we leave the hospital, because he does have his like the tube for one of his, I think it's the urinary tract or urinary gland, is twice the width of what is considered normal. So I think 7 millimeters is considered normal, and he's like 14. So they don't know what it is. The most likelihood is it's something either gastro related or a partial blockage, but we won't know until baby's out and they can ultrasound the baby directly, and then get us over to a specialist. So we're hoping that's it. So why do you have a black eye? Yeah. Yeah, Erin's great. She's very understanding, but asking her to fan me in the hot garage like the Egyptians did is certainly certainly might get me that black eye. It's a boy, yeah. His name is Landon, so it'll be Jackson and Landon, and his middle name is Oliver, so Landon Oliver. I picked this name. Erin was pretty much, she picked Jackson, and then Landon was me. Their initials, so like Jackson's initials spell Jag, and then Landon spell log, which is not the reason why I went with the names, but it certainly was like a bonus point for me. Thanks, nice. Okay, so we should be good, I think. All of the holes are filled with screws and bolts and stuff. Let me tighten this down. All that's left is the pulleys on this guy, but I will find some Loctite. I will also definitely make the recommendation to them to add a flat section of the motor shaft, because the motor shaft is round all the way. Did anybody here watch Taylor's stream or Nero's stream when he built this printer? I'm curious as to, I mean, I assume his were also rounded as well, just because I think he got his kit around the same time as me. He built his a lot quicker than me. Well, started his before me, because I was working on the Proforge 300. He'd already finished that. I'm curious if he got that and if he ended up filing filing down the motor shaft or not. I have a Jack and a William. Nice. I like William's a nice name too. Yeah, 2 boys. It's gonna be chaos. It's already kind of a zoo, but like I make jokes that every time someone like comes over or calls, you're just gonna hear like in the background. It's a circus. It's just gonna be a circus here. Hey, Stuart. Hey, Croc. I got a black eye for saying I hoped we were having twins and hoping we got one of each, as if that happened. As if that happened, I was changing my name legally to Anakin Skywalker. We made some good progress. So after last week's stream, I got the beds all installed, which went relatively well. I do need to do some wire cleanup, and then we got the washers in that we needed. I just bought them on Amazon, and we've got our motor mounts assembled for the gantry. So next, I think we're going to work on probably the XY joints. Oh, I did discover that my kit did not come with a bed, so that was fun. I had a moment of panic as I was searching for the spring steel for this, because naturally, once I had the 4 beds installed, I wanted to throw the spring steel on it so I could just kind of giggle. And I looked through the boxes like 4 times thinking, surely it's here. But I found out that some of the early kits were missing like some of them were missing the spring steel, and so I've got it's coming in the mail, but I at this point do not have a bed for this printer. All right, so next up is the XY joints. So I will start by grabbing, it looks like 4 CNC parts. Hey, Benny. My new job has been super good, but I miss the stream most weeks. That's no worries, man. We're not going anywhere. I'm glad to hear the job is going good, though. That's awesome. I forgot chips. We were obligated. For my buddy Yoshi to sleep. Is that your dog nice? Well, that negates the next question of, is this bed level yet? Yeah, it is not level yet. 15-year was still a great age. I think that's what you're saying, Nice, is that you had to put your dog down. I'm really sorry to hear that. 15 years is awesome, though. Like, I mean, I will say, of course, it's like, it's always sad, but I'm like, it's at least a positive that you did get, 15 awesome years with your furry family member. Our Delilah is like 13 and a half, I think, now. So we're every day or every week or every month, and she can still get up and move around and stuff. I'm definitely thankful because she's a big dog. So I'm actually quite impressed that she is in as good shape as she is, just considering how large breed of a dog she is. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what parts of this we need, but these kind of look like the parts that we need. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so this is definitely not the right part, I don't think. This looks like it is right. This looks like it is correct. And then these two appear to be correct. Okay. So I grabbed 2 extra parts. I'm gonna put these back in the CNC part section. Okay, so we've got these parts. I am not going to be reprinting all the parts out of ABS. I'm really just doing the toolhead stuff. If I have to later on, I will reprint everything, but I'm hoping that the main issue for the PTG parts is going to be really near the bed. So this looks like it's probably our cable chain mount. So let me see if I can locate that. I think it's probably in this bag. Oops, over here. Have you ever built a cross gantry printer like K3? Curious to know how they perform. I haven't. I wanted to. There was, for quite a while, I was talking to Fabrico a little over a year ago, 2 years ago now, I don't know, about getting in an annex kit. And he had said, yeah, we were waiting on a shipment that I think was coming in like last June or July, and then just didn't happen. Kind of got busy with stuff. I think they're sweet looking, and I certainly would enjoy building one, but no, I haven't personally yet. Mine was a Shiba Inu, not really a large dog. They say between 13 and 15 years old. Oh, Shiba, oh man. Yeah, I'm really sorry, Nice. Our dogs are definitely like our furry family members. I think Fabrico will be getting new kits in of the K3 or something different. My buddy Siberian Husky has been diagnosed with arthritis. Oh no. How much would you say you have left? That's a great question. So we've jumped around a bit, but like, let's just say once this is done, right, the gantry stuff, I'm done with the hotbed section, then we move on to toolhead. So I think it's basically like toolhead, casters we're not doing for now, and then wiring. So I mean, still a ways to go. I don't know, like, I can't really say a percentage. I don't, like, the wire, I think that the wiring should be somewhat quick because it is already, some of it's pre-wired and mounted and such, so I'm really bad at guessing that, but I mean, I would think we're gonna be over the halfway point for sure once all the gantry stuff is set up here. But yeah, I don't really know as far as like percentage goes, man. All right, let's do this. So heat inserts, I don't have, I'll do the heat inserts later, I suppose. I don't have the my hot iron down here. I ordered my Venture XL kit from Fabrica last month and they asked FYSETC and they're supposed to be there this week, but I still haven't heard, so we'll see. Nice. Do you have any like specific big plans for it once it's built? Okay, so I think we need one of these. And probably one of these. This might not be right, actually. Or no, it is right. Okay. So we need two of these. We'll kind of do these in the same order as we did the previous ones. So let's start with some M518 button heads. M518 button heads. Going into you. And then going into you like this. Okay. So this covers, interesting. So once we put this part on, it covers one of the holes, I think. Yeah, so we need to probably first attach, let's see if we can do this. Let's get, mainly putting stuff for my company, or basically printing stuff for my company, but flower pots and kids furniture in the meantime. Basic 12-inch flower pots. Or 12, wait, $25? What? Are they specialty flower pots? Like, are they terracotta? Seems really expensive. I think Aaron's got some that I know we're not paying that much for. I'd be more interested in something like this in a pancake configuration, like the, yeah, I tend to agree. Most of what, like, I would probably be fine with this thing having like an 8-inch Z. I definitely don't need this much height. And I think that that's probably the case for quite a few people. That seems too long. M518 is what it called for. Through this plastic part, through the CNC part, and through... That seems too big to me. Where... Yeah. Go find a 12-inch. I couldn't find any for less than $25. Huh. I'll have to look. I'm sure I'll be at Home Depot the next week here, so I'll look. Hi, I've been a long-time viewer of your VODs. This time I caught live. Given all the problems with missing parts not cluster building instructions, would you recommend buying from FYSETC? Oh, man. So... that is a great question. I think that it depends going into it. Like, for starters, I will tell FYSETC straight up that the printer that I received, as far as the way the kit goes and the way it's set up, feels a hell of a lot like a beta to me and not a completed product. So I think it really comes down to a couple of things. One, like how they address it, and two, what your expectations are purchasing it. Because if you know this now watching it and still decide like, nah, it's still, out of the options out there, is the best option, which people are buying it still. I mean, we just, someone in chat, what was it? Okay, so this definitely, what the all right. So M512's too small, M518 too large. Do we have anything in between? So I don't think there's a lot of comparable things out there, is I guess what I'm getting at. So do I think that the experience of building this so far has been great? Absolutely not. There's just, like, I think that the thing I could say the best, all right, let me, it's a little rant, it's a little zoomed in rant. So based off what I've seen so far, the things I could say I feel like they did well on is mostly hardware. Like, the only things I feel like they cheaped out on hardware-wise is the hot end makes no sense for this printer. I saw someone claim that it caps out at like 11 cubic millimeters per second with PLA, which you'd get a little bit more than that with ABS, but like that's still a ridiculous hot end to send on such a big printer. And the fact that that was signed off on after they went with CNC parts and these big 40/40 extrusions, like that makes no sense to me. But for the most part, I've been quite happy with the hardware chosen for this build. The biggest complaints I have are the instructions need work, like quite a bit of work, both from like, hey, let's figure out what in here is not labeled correctly and fix it. And let's also add details so that way we're not just guessing. And let's add higher resolution photos so that you can actually zoom in and see what the heck is, you know, trying to be shown. And then the missing parts is definitely bad. I do know that like some of this stuff has already been corrected. Like I got one of the early printers, but it wasn't supposed to be a beta unit. And based off that, like if this was, I would be very frustrated expecting to have all of the things I need to build the thing and not and that not being the case. So it really comes down to what you're willing to put up with, I suppose, and what your goal is. But I can guarantee that I would not be able to source this printer for $2,000, which last time I checked was what this was going for. It would cost me way more. So it just, yeah, I think it's, my goal right now would be like managing expectations and also hoping that FYSETC will close that gap. But I have no control over what FYSETC does. So all I can really do is provide feedback and then manage expectations for anyone that's looking to buy one of these. So it really needs a tube. Yeah, the cost of tube though, like I know they wouldn't do it, but I have heard that they were talking to FYSETC about making the Rapido high flow become the standard hot end that would ship with this kit. And if that's the case, I think that's a much better option. Okay, let me go and get the giveaway open. I did say I would do that. So we got 92 people here and 45 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. Let's get to 60 as a starting point. Let's get to 69 likes as a starting point. I would do the Stinger hot end. I don't know what the Stinger hot end is, actually, Delmar. Could you make one of these printer into 6 or 12 inch high printer easily? So I wouldn't say easily, but is it possible? I would say yes, definitely. Like if you wanted to reuse parts, you'd basically be cutting cutting extrusions, cutting the linear rails, shortening belts is no big deal. I think that would be mostly it, right? What am I missing? Shortening belts, shortening extrusions, shortening rails. I think that's mostly it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, M518 button heads seem too long. And M512s, too damn short. So do we have like an M515? I mean, I suppose I could use washers. M510s. M516s? I might steal M516s for this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna steal them. I'm sure I'll be short somewhere else, but maybe we can use the other ones, or I'll have to find screws, but this seems to be the right size for this. So this goes like this. This goes like this. This goes through here. Yeah, that's a way better size. Much better size. About when did you receive something to test? I did not. I can speak freely on that. So Snapmaker did reach out to me about the U1 some months ago, and they did offer to put me on the first list of testers, and I actually declined. The main reason was I knew I had a baby coming. There was no mention of when it would be launching on Kickstarter. And they told me that they were going to be sending me like a beta unit, and that it would be different. Like, you know, there'd be some differences between that and the final unit. And there wasn't much details on like how close to the final unit it would be. And they wanted me, I think there was mention of like, you know, like providing feedback to the engineers or whatever. And I'm like, I can't commit to that. Like, I just don't have the bandwidth to do beta testing. And so I said, you know, thank you. I certainly am interested, and I would love to test one out when you guys have the retail units ready. And then they were going to chat and get back to me, and it never happened. So I followed up with them. Sorry, I'm trying to think here. So I followed up with them a couple weeks ago and haven't heard back yet. So I have no idea if I'm getting one, but I don't have one. I haven't tested one, and it's my own by my own doing. It was offered, and I just, yeah, basically said I don't like to commit to things if I can't follow through. That's really where it's at. So I did buy the like early bird slot thing, and I am actually debating on just purchasing this printer outright, which it'd be the first machine. I've done some Kickstarter like model stuff. It'd be the first machine I'd purchase on Kickstarter, so I might end up doing that. We'll see. What am I missing here, guys? So I see, if we look at this piece, we got 4 screws, right? One of them, oh, I think I screwed up. I think that this guy, does anybody have the CAD open for me? Can you see? So like, see how this one right here is just a straight, it's sort of like a straight standoff. I put this guy right here. I have a feeling that this guy in the back is supposed to be another straight standoff. Can somebody verify that? I'm almost positive that's what the reality is. So I'm gonna just start working towards that really quickly here. Any interest in the Corvair Air? I mentioned that they had to have really big Nice. Thank you so much, man, for the 5 gift membership. Cheers, buddy. Thank you, thank you. I'll get caught up on chat in just 1 second here. I need to probably scroll up. Thank you, nice. Let's see. FYSETC pulling, dragon, ultra. Dragon over the stinger. Oh, they're from the kit. Got it. So it'd be the way to go. They just need the modded part for stealth burner. I have a stealth burner on my V2.4. Is there another option for better cooling when printing PLA? I am swapping over to the. Oh, what is it called? Jabberwocky toolhead from LDO, like their LDO kit. So I'm swapping out for my 2.4. I don't know how cooling compares. I think it has slightly better cooling, but I mainly just wanted a lighter toolhead with a little bit more geared towards filament cutting and swapping. I'm using the Filamatrix mod, which is okay. I think like for keeping the stealth burner and sort of implementing it into that body, they did a good job, but I would like a bigger trigger for the cutting mechanism, and just I don't know, I think there could be some improvements made. Yeah, the Carvera Air, they had reached out a bunch of times initially, and I don't think I replied to any of them because I was just like chewing on it. It was like, I don't know, I could see doing like a stream unboxing and first look at it, but I don't know if I would do a full review video of it. I don't know. I would want to just cut out some like motor mounts in aluminum. Jabberwocky, if they have good ducts and 3010 blurs, would be nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm excited to play around with the Jabberwocky. All right, let's move forward, guys. I am we're going slow, but in my defense, I'm doing the best I can today. Right. I did turn down a desktop CNC. I turned down a lot of things. Like I know that there's like this notion from certainly some people that you know, the YouTubers just take everything that gets offered to them. That is certainly not the case. I turn down stuff all the freaking time if I don't think it's a good fit for my audience, if I don't think I could meet some sort of deadline, if I turn down a lot of stuff. Even some stuff where I'm like, oh, I really would like to play around with that, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a good fit. I think the heat is getting to you. For linear projects, I've been doing parts for people on my C1 Carvera. Yeah, I know you've been doing quite a bit of aluminum, right, Delmar? I mean, the Carvera looks sweet. I actually would like to get one in. I just don't know whether outside of a live stream, like you guys hanging out on the live stream, I know like we just enjoy hanging out and building stuff, but also just kind of chatting and looking at stuff. But for the regular channel and the, you know, like the channel at large, like I just don't know whether there's interest at all. I've only done aluminum. That's freaking amazing. I've never done aluminum. I've only done acrylics, softwoods, hardwoods, and I feel like I've done something else, but maybe not. Giveaway link is open for anyone that is here just chilling. I did announce it earlier, but if you missed it, giveaway link is open in chat. We will do our drawing in about 15 minutes here. Yeah, I think like that's what I'm saying. If Carvera was willing to send one for the stream channel, then I would be. Is that Jack? Hey, buddy. Hi, buddy. It's hot out here, huh? Super hot. Come here, bud. Did you just wake up from your nap? Yeah? Want to say hi to everybody? Yeah. Oh. You say hi? Hi, everybody. Yeah, we'll zoom in on Jack Attack. I think you should ask the audience next time you get an offer like that. Yeah, it's probably not a bad call. I probably should do more stuff with the community tab on the main channel. I can do like polls and stuff like that. Oh, what the? Did you change the scene? Yeah. Want to see what Daddy's been working on today? Look. Look at Daddy built these. Careful, it's kind of heavy. Got him? Pretty cool, huh? What color is that? Red. And then this? Yeah, red and black. That's right. Jack the director. Yeah, he's the boss. Huh, are you the boss? What? What do you see? Gee whiz.
For the Jack ice cream.
See what Nice said? He said, for the Jack ice cream. Can you say it? Can you say it in the microphone? Say ice cream. Say ice cream. Say ice cream. He loves ice cream. Thanks, Nice. Yeah, that's the part I'm working on right now. Let's just say the CNC channel in Fabrico has been active with parts as we all learned from each other in there. I think CNCing is awesome, and with Lightburn, they released Millmade, so I've been working with CNCs a little bit. A lot of it's been setting up the software, making videos on the software, but I definitely am interested in CNC, and the Carvera, like, its form factor makes it where... What, the fan? Is it tickling? Tickle? Yeah. Okay, Daddy's gotta build some stuff, buddy. I gotta walk you inside. Those are wire strippers. Careful, I don't want you to pinch your finger, buddy. Hey, be careful with these, okay? Okay, can you say bye-bye, everybody? Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, have a good day. 2 cameras, that's right, dude. Look at, this is a side one. Look at, so now you can see that camera right there. Okay, and then you've got this camera over there in the front. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, grab your water. I'm gonna walk you in, so you gotta go get Mom, okay? All right. Thank you for saying hi. It's too hot out here for a baby. It's too hot out here for anybody. Okay. Go leave with Mommy. I love you. All right. I'm decades older than Jack, and I still pinch my finger. I've done it before too. I usually it's like late night if I'm. The times I usually hurt myself is like end of night, or if I'm just doing something quickly, like a little too quick. You gotta slow down sometimes. Okay, so let's switch cameras to here. So this last screw at the very front, we need a bearing stack on. So for this one, we are going to... Yeah, he was playing around with some tool. I can't remember what the heck it was. Maybe it was a pipe cutter, like a. I have a little tool for cutting like pulley pipe for the irrigation, and he was out there with me. And I think he grabbed that and pinched his thigh with it, and I felt so bad. It was pretty big bruise from it because of where he pinched himself with it. Okay, so we got that, and then we're just gonna use the washers I bought, which are these ones. Hey, clown. I'm so clumsy. I even pinched my fingers in covered buttons. The biggest thing I do that hurts like hell, and I do it more often than I'm proud to admit, is hit my foot on things. I don't know why, like, I am so clumsy with my feet, but like kicking the corner of the couch, kicking the corner of the bed, kicking one of the like bar stools, like I feel like I'm always whacking my toe on things, and it's so painful. Like, it's incredible how it's like the pain from hitting your toe it can drop me. Like, it's just, it's awful. That's the one thing that I do a lot. I mean, maybe, I don't, a lot might be an exaggeration, but enough, like, oh shit. Did we strip it? Okay, that scared me. I don't think we stripped it, but that scared me. Okay, that seems good. So next up, oh, what's next? What is next? What is next? What is next? Next. We need to put, let's see. Okay, so we need one M5 by 12 for right here. M5 12 and M5 T-nuts. M5 12, M5 12, M5 12. There we are. Kicking the corners of furniture. Oh, dude. Yeah, our couches have two things. So it's a Costco couch, and like the corners, the feet are these like pretty massive square wooden feet, which suck to hit. But then the couch itself is it's modular, right? Like, so each square can be attached and detached, and they use this sort of metal like teeth hook mechanism that slots into each other. And so each piece of the couch has one of those things on each side, and so you have the edge pieces of the couch where you have them folded in. But even with them folded in, like, you can't hit it in passing, but if your foot happens to like get under the couch a little bit, you can totally hit it. And it's oh god, it's bad. It's so bad. Hey, Kegel. Used to be my shins. Hit my shins everywhere so much that they're full of scars. Jeez. The only thing I ever did with my shin, I used to skateboard a lot, and doing like, trying to do kick flips or heel flips, like having the board flip and the wood hit your shin. Or I guess that's ankle, probably ankle more than shin, but yeah, ankle bone. I used to do that quite often. That wasn't fun. Alrighty, so let's get the last bearing stack on this side, which is gonna be mostly while bike. Oh, this is the pedal coming around and whacking you. I feel like that's happened to me as well. Biking's something I really want to get into, like mountain biking, since we're out here in Idaho and there's a lot of it. I'm hoping I can get kiddos into it. I don't even have a bike right now, but it's certainly on my want list. Okay. I've broken my toes so many times kicking things. Ow. I used to skateboard too. You can feel how bumpy my shins are. It happened a lot. Yeah, skateboards hurt, dude. But you both, I mean, all of it. Like, the wood hurts really bad, but even the metal trucks, dude. There's been times where I feel like I've just stopped on the skateboard and like hit the tail of it to catch it with my hand, but like missed it and had it whack my knee. So much stupid stuff. Okay, so I just want to make sure orientation-wise we are correct on this. So it looks like, to me, this is how this is going. Yeah, it seems right to me. We'll look at it again. Let me get the screws in and then we'll look at it again, but this seems right to me. Nope. There we go. Stepping on bamboo poop is similar to Lego. I haven't actually done that very much, which is somewhat surprising because there is, like, if I showed you guys my upstairs floor right now, there's absolutely purged material, not where it should be. But yeah, I haven't stepped on it much. I have stepped on printed parts, sure, where it's been really painful, but not specifically purged material. Also, about 5 more minutes on the giveaway, and we'll do the drawing for that. So if you're just showing up, or if you've been watching on a separate tab and are just hearing this, get your entry in. Also, is Deanna here? I just want to make sure she got the email for her giveaway from last week. I haven't seen her in chat. Okay, let's make sure this looks correct. So this looks fine. That seems fine. That looks good. I think I did it right. I really do. Didn't see her. Okay. So it says we need M3/8 socket heads for this right here, but we also don't have anything that's going into yet. So like these aren't threaded, and I assume it's for the rail. It's got to be for the rail. So we will just not use those yet until I go to install it. So they're just gonna fall out. Sweet, we got one done. Just bought some polypropylene carbon fiber after Lost in Text videos. Been meaning to try it. I need to play around with that. I know polypropylene itself, I'm not a fan of printing with. It sucks. But we sold, I think it was a glass fiber. I'm curious to see really quick here. I'm sure they still have it. Matter hackers. I think it was a PPGF. Huh. I think it was this. I think that's BASF what I'm thinking of, which is really expensive. It makes the Polymaker's Fibron look cheap, but yeah, I feel like I heard really good stuff about this polypropylene glass fiber, but I never printed with it. It's a nice material. I mean, you have to have the use case for it, right? Like it's certainly for functional printing or work stuff, not just for fun. 3DX Tech, okay, got it. The PPCF is cheaper and really light. Yeah, I do think after we do this giveaway, I'm very likely going to call it on the stream. I know it was really short today, but I'm hot. I'm really hot. We've climbed to 94. We're at 94.1 Fahrenheit right now, and the last few weeks streams, like I think the peak we've hit is 90, but it's like sort of leveled off around 88, but I don't know what the deal is. Like I opened the garage, both like the garage doors early this morning, trying to purge out any heat because it was 95 last night when I was in here. And so I thought we were gonna be in good shape, but it's brutally hot. So, but what is gonna end up happening is I will end up finishing the, here, let me zoom out a little bit. I'll end up finishing the second AB or XY joint and the 2 idlers, and then getting that mounted on the 2020 and getting them installed. So next week we can continue from there. Yeah, I won't start next week's stream and have you guys watch me build the other one of these and the other 2. I'll get all that done off stream. I'm feeling really uncomfortable, if I'm being honest with you. I know I've mentioned it multiple times in the stream, and I apologize too. My goal isn't to just come on and complain the whole time about how hot it is, but I feel like my tolerance levels are pretty high, but this is just beyond what I feel comfortable or safe being in for too long. So yeah, we'll do the giveaway. We'll do the giveaway here, and then I will pause it. Open the garage door to your house and use a fan to blow cold air into your garage. Yeah, I could do that, but I do have a small fan. If I had the garage door open though, Jack would keep coming in and out of the garage the whole time I was streaming, and we wouldn't want that either. AC installation stream. We'll do a Carvera Mr. Cool stream. I just sent you some photos of my plane in PPACF, great material. Take a look at it. Can I show it on stream, GPs? Where the heck is Discord? There we go. Oh, you posted it, so I'm assuming, yeah. I'll just show it here. It looks freaking awesome. Yeah, it's a gorgeous material. What are you printing it on? Is that on your 2.4 or on the rat rig? This thing looks sick, dude. This thing looks really cool. No, they meant tuxedo. They meant from the inside of the house. Like, the inside of the house. Unless you knew that and you're joking, but yeah, inside the house is nice and cool. We have like, it's like 70, 71, so it's really nice in there. All right, everyone, let's do this. So you've got, what am I doing? Hit the button. You've got 1 minute, and then I'm gonna pull the giveaway link, and then 1 more minute, and we'll close it up and do the drawing. I have been playing around with the FlashForge AD5X that we talked a little bit about last week's stream, and there's definitely some things I really like about it, and there's certainly some areas where I can see the corners that were cut to reach the price point of $370 or whatever it was. I can actually tell. I made a list. Let's see. So currently, upcoming videos, here we go. Okay, so my current like cons are, it doesn't have any lights. It's even though like right now it's open, like it's an open Core XY, it's still quite dark. Like there's no lights, it needs a light. It also doesn't have a camera, which to me in 2025 seems wild for a printer to not have a camera. You can add on a camera for $20, it looks like, but I still just, in my opinion, like they should have just added a light and a camera and charged you the $20 extra. Their app, every time you open their app, which I think anyone that buys it would probably be using the app because it's how you can monitor it and check on the status and all that. Every time you open their app, there's an ad that plays for 3 to 4 seconds, which seems kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's only 3 or 4 seconds, but I still find it annoying to like have to watch a countdown of 3 seconds every time I just want to see the status of the print. I found out the hard way, it doesn't have power loss recovery. The slicing software was not signed on Mac, so I had to go under settings and basically approve the application. The Z hopping is quite loud. I don't know why, but the Z hopping of the bed, it's a fairly loud sound. And then it doesn't have an auxiliary fan, which is kind of a given since it doesn't have panels by default. And the print quality seems to be doing quite well, surprisingly well. And the multicolor swapping seems to be working very well. There's a lot of things I have to say like that are good, but I typically tend to write down the cons that I find as I'm testing out a machine, just so that way I have them versus trying to recall them on the end. It's usually easier for me to remember the good things than some of the bad things or negative things. So like I make sure I write all those things down. It was a great stream. Thank you for answering my questions. Hopefully you can cool down. Thank you so much, Isabel. I appreciate it. I'll be good. I'm gonna definitely like eat some food and cool down. So okay, I'm gonna remove the link. If you're actively filling out the link, you've got another 60 seconds. Unpinned message. Oops, I meant to. It's fine. That works. Curious to see what the forecast is like for next week. Let's just see in advance here. What are we in for? So next Wednesday, 97. It's not much better. 3 degrees cooler than today. So watermelon or a hefty sandwich like yesterday. Yes. Coworker has the first batch of the AD5X. He's got mixed feelings about it. He can't get TP to print on it all. So TPU I could see being a pretty good pain on the AD5X. It has a similar head on it to the the 4 filament attachment point is very similar to the A1 and A1 Mini. The thing I don't know is I would want to feed directly from spool holder into the head of the AD5X, and the way it's set up, I don't exactly know how I would do that. Unless I ran, actually, yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it at 95A. Yeah, right now I'm just doing single color printing and a couple multicolor printing. Those are the main things I'll test out a lot on it. It's really what it's going to be good for, unenclosed. And then I'll try PETG, and then I'll just do it like a 95, probably just a 95 ATPU. So. Oh, funny. Okay, let's do the giveaway, and I'll tell you funny Jackson thing. So we've got 83 entries. Perfect. That works. Let's see if we can hit 69 likes. I know you guys can get us there. So last night, Jackson was supposed to be asleep. I'm upstairs in my room working on the computer, and just like real casually, Jackson just walks into the room with a smile on his face, and I'm like, Erin was doing dishes, so she wasn't able to watch the monitor, so Jackson just had come up. And I'm like, I look at him and I say, like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be asleep. So I carry him down to his room and walk into his room, see what I see, turn back around, go to Erin, holding him in my arms, and I say, you gotta see what your son did. And he had taken a ton of toilet paper off of the roll from the bathroom, like very, very long amounts, tore it, brought it into his room, and was just like shredding the toilet paper. And I guess Erin said that she had told him, he said he had allergies, so Erin said, why don't you grab a piece of tissue? So he did grab a piece of tissue, but usually he only grabs like a square or two, and this time he felt like he would grab all of it. So that was fun. That was a fun night. All right, so we have, what did I say, 83 responses. Boom, 83. There we go. It was pretty funny. I kind of wish I'd taken a photo, but in the moment we were just tired and we're trying not to encourage the bad behavior. So, all right, here we go. We've got 83 people here in the giveaway. Thank you everyone for entering. Thank you to Polymaker for letting us do these giveaways. For anyone that hasn't been in one of these before, the winner will get an email from me within 24 hours that will contain a link and a unique code you'll need to submit the form in that link. If you're in the US or Canada, you'll get a gift card, and anywhere else in the world you can pick, I believe it's any spool on their website, up to 35 US dollars, I think is how it works. And right now, Polymaker has a pretty awesome giveaway going. It's like, I think their second big summer clearance sale. I'm actually gonna pull it up really quick here. I have not made an announcement about it, but if you are looking to pick up filament, it's probably a really good time to do so. And if you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description, so any filament you pick up would support the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. So I'm just curious to see. Okay, so I think maybe it's mostly Panchroma, because that is a lot of what I saw. So yeah, a lot of the Panchroma series is like 42% off. So if you are needing just, like a colored filament for kind of pretty printing, there's a lot of options available right now and on sale, so it's pretty cool. Anyways, let's do this. So every kid does that at least once. I know I was just telling Erin yesterday that I'm pretty sure my mom said I did the same thing with the toilet paper. I know that I was a really mischievous kid, so it's not like, if that's the it's really a minor thing in the grand scheme of it all. Yeah, Jack has done that quite a few times, where he does a thing where we're like, oh, that's bad, but like, oh, it's so funny at the same time. Okay, so I will let you guys decide how many times are we shuffling today. I'm thinking maybe we shuffle it 36 times, because that's how far along we are in the pregnancy, 36 weeks. Or we can shuffle it 7 times for Landon being 7 pounds. Or Let's see. Nice says 15. We got 15, 36. Aaron says 36. All right, we'll do 36. The first 4 outside of Nice is 36. Sorry, Nice. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 35, and 36. All right, we didn't even get to the hyphy music today. I gotta, hold on really quick, y'all. We gotta at least, like, let's pump it up a little bit for the giveaway. There we go. All right, everyone. Good luck to each and every one of you in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. TT83, you are our winner this week. Congratulations. Let's do a little standing clap. Congratulations, TT. I will send you an email maybe this evening. If not this evening, then by tomorrow I absolutely will. So congratulations on being this week's winner. Thank you everybody for entering in, and we will do the same thing next week at the same place, hopefully a little bit cooler. It gets pretty warm here very early, but I might look at the weather next week, and based off that, if it sticks at 97, maybe try to start the stream a little bit earlier. I don't know for certain. Like, if it's the difference of 1 or 2 degrees, probably not, but we'll see. I just keep a lookout for that in case I do decide to do that, because yeah, it's just like it's nuts. This is what we're leaving today's stream on. It's just nuts to me. Like, it's 94.5 in here. It is absolutely gross. So I'm gonna drink some cold water, probably have some watermelon and a sandwich, and just chill for a little bit. Apologies again for it being so short, but honestly, like, this is the best I could do given just the heat right now. So yeah, next week we'll continue on, and the plan will be I'll have all of the toolhead parts printed out. I will have the rest of the gantry parts assembled and hopefully mounted in the printer. I don't know if I'll route belts yet. I probably will do belts as well. I probably will do belts. We'll see, but we'll definitely make some progress. So at least it's dry. Yes, the humidity is not bad, 28%. I will take that over your 100% any day of the week. So, all right, y'all. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you for all of our new members, existing members, gifted members, donations, and just everyone just hanging out and being a good sport. So on that note, I will catch you guys next week, unless the baby decides to show up early. But the plan is I'll catch you all next week. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a great week. And I should have a video coming out this weekend as well. I'm making really good progress on one, and if all goes well, that will be the plan. So talk to you guys later on. Bye.